Setting up their safe place for the night, the team come across shadows of long-forgotten memories hiding amongst the crystal under the protection of the night. In the gas station once again, Lark and Sully share their thoughts on running and the wisdom that comes with age. Is the light of day really enough to keep the spectres of their past at bay? I guess you're about to find out. This is The Sprouting. Ch.2 Road of Ruin, Part 3. The birds begin tweeting. It's probably about an hour before dawn, the darkest. Birds are beginning to make their sounds. Who is awake at this point?
Not this guy.
I'm a morning person. I'll be the first to break the barrier and step outside with great caution.
I think Lark at this point is dozing in a corner.
Yeah, I think Sully tried to stay up the entire night, but if Ralph stirs at like 5-ish, and there hasn't been sound outside for 5 hours, then Sully's just like, okay, just let me fucking lie down for a minute. I just need 2 hours. I just need 2 hours. Kind of thing. So I'm more than happy to like kind of trade with Ralph, give him the dawn.
Okay, that seems fair. Sully, you can snatch a few hours sleep. Seeker, you're probably slept as much as the night through as you possibly can. And Lark, when you doze off, you don't go to a bad place. It's too short of amount of time for that to occur, really. It's just like dozing here and there, not enough to hit like proper REM. A couple of weird dreams, but nothing awful. So you do get some rest. Yay. Ralph, you've had a pretty okay night. Like, people from your past aren't shouting at you and calling you horrible names or seeking you or any of that crap. You're pretty all right.
Woo!
OT hasn't been destroyed. Today is a good day.
Excellent.
Yeah. But yeah, the morning comes. The light slowly begins to make its way into the room. The last of the torch, like, almost poetically, as the sun's rays come in, just goes out, and that's the last torch that you had for the evening. Yeah, like, you haven't heard anything in a while. If you peek out the window, you don't see any shadows, at least right now. Everything seems to be okay.
Okay. I'm gonna let everyone wake up, like, on their own, I guess. So I imagine everyone will be awake at a certain point, except for Sully, at which point we'll give him a couple minutes and then wake him up. But as long as we're past the intense, like, night, I'm okay with a slow morning. So I'll be sitting out catching a bit of sun with my fold out or Odie in the sun, whatever this. What's the words? Solar panels. Yes, panels.
Yes. Like as the sun begins to come up, like OT just released the like one or two solar panels that are on them, like the little ones that are kind of like helping them out. And yeah, you're able to deploy your solar panels. Looking around the building, as you kind of like leave, you don't notice any scratch marks in the wall at all. It doesn't appear to be any damage or anything like that to it, and you don't see any signs that anything was circling the building at all. The only real evidence that anything took place last night was the bullet that Sully fired through the door. That's kind of it, really. And yeah, you're able to catch some sunlight and still be able to hear the folks behind you as they begin to like slowly stir and wake up. Yeah, like no one's going to be panicking about anybody leaving like in the early, as long as they're still outside, because people will be wake enough to realize that you're moving and everything is okay. So yeah, you'll probably about 8 o'clock. Most of you are probably like awake. The sun is coming out, and it's has that kind of like dampness in the air that was from the rain the night before, and everything is covered in like damp wetness. But the sun is beginning to shine, and it looks like it's going to be a scorcher of a day. What do y'all want to do?
Examine the outside of the building for a scratch mark.
There is none.
Yeah, I'm probably just like, all right. I forgot how much I hate sleeping outside. I got like no sleep, like only maybe 6 hours. So I guess we got to get moving again before the sun gets lower.
Yes, I'm sorry for your inconvenience.
I'm sure it inconveniences you too. I mean, it sucks being out here. I don't know how you do it.
No, this is not a normal night. This is actually one of the worst nights I've had in a long, long time.
What is a roll to look for breakfast by the lake? I'm not a very good scavenger, but would it be incredibly easy to come across like duck eggs or a kind of shelled clammy type thing without having to like try to fish or do something?
Yeah, probably I'd ask you for a survival, probably.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at that.
Can I actually, if Ralph is like getting ready to like start scavenging, Sully's probably gonna be like, no. I want to try to put as much distance between us and this place today. If we can make it all the way to Gumpendorf today, that would just like genuinely be like a lifesaver. So let's dip a little bit into our rations. I'm sorry, like any other day I would be on board with scavenging.
I agree, Sully, and I've got bread, so we're good. And I should also apply my sunscreen. You sure you don't want any?
No, I'm good. I stopped needing sunscreen about like 10 plus years ago.
Okay. Lark?
What is sunscreen?
It keeps you from looking old like him.
And like, oh no, wait, you're talking about age. Okay, never mind. You basically see this very tan person. They already have a very dark complexion.
It's very, very unhealthy to let the sun hit you like that. That's why there's this magical salve. It's called. Yeah, never mind. All right, moisturizer.
The only person who truly looks like they need it is probably Henry and Ralph.
I'm still mildly like unhappy with the answers that were given from Ralph, so he's not going to offer it.
Oh, that's fine. I could use a bit of sun.
I want your insides to look like your outsides. Yeah, your outside will look like your inside.
If it's good for OT, it must be good for you.
Sully's gonna pack up his stuff, get everything ready, and then he's gonna start like leading the way. There's definitely a missing pep in his step, as he had to stay up a very long time last night, or he made himself stay up a very long time last night.
Yeah.
Lark is, since we're basically like already starting out without having a breakfast, Lark is starting to hand out grapes.
The grapes you promised. Thank you.
This is gonna give you more energy.
Yes, I'm going to need it. We should have some rations. We can stop in about like 2 or 3 hours. Like, just get a little distance in before we eat.
Yeah, Sully is gonna like push the pack forward unless you guys want to spend more time at the gas station.
No, while we're walking, we need to go over some hand signals because the ones you gave me were shit.
Okay, that's actually a good idea. All right. So back in the day when I used to travel with groups, we had a couple of hand signals. Let me go over the most obvious ones. So when I point to myself, then I point to my eyes, and then I point to a location, that means I saw something.
Ralph gives the middle finger.
That one is not used tactically, but it does get used frequently.
Okay.
It does send a strong message.
So yeah, I think Sully is like happily, like genuinely, he's like when you said that and you said like yeah, your hand signals were shit. Like Sully obviously was offended, but like once he gets into it, you can actually see like a little bit of like almost like a smile to him, like while he's talking about it. He just kind of gets like, yeah, let's talk about hand signals.
And this is actually a thing Seeker really enjoys, is learning, and he's actually quite excited that he's going to get to learn some secret hand signals from someone who lives outside more than him.
Yeah, Lark is also like mimicking all your hand signals.
And the party got ambushed.
As everybody's giving each other the strongest of middle finger signals, like this is specifically what we use this for, is when you get attacked. Yeah, sure.
When your hands are busy doing hand signals, you're too busy to hold a gun. Oh no.
Could I have one of you make a listen check for me? It is a hard listen check, just to put it out there.
Lark definitely always listen.
I believe it's Lark, but we do have Seeker in the group now.
I'm listening to Sully.
Oh boy, no! Lark is too busy learning hand signals.
Oh, you failed? No!
Yep.
Lark is distracted with grapes and hand signals. They can't listen right now.
Too busy throwing signals to listen to something. Y'all continue walking along. You're aware that you're kind of like, you're beginning to hear like the sounds of the river, which means you're kind of heading in the right direction. You know that if you follow the river for a good bit, you see the mountain, and then you know that's kind of up and where you need to be. At least Sully would know that, kind of roughly where that would be. Like you hear a babbling brook, but nothing else seems to be of massive worry. You don't see anything moving around too much. You see a couple of whispered violets, which are these kind of like small, like either tennis ball or football size shaped plants with like 3 purple leaves and like bright yellow stamen coming out the middle, and they kind of like move around, but they aren't really a threat. They're around. It's very good to eat them if you get desperate. And for those of you in the know, you know that you can ask them to help you make a bargain with the world. And it's kind of bad luck to eat them, but if you get desperate, boy, howdy, are they tasty. Like you see a few of them wandering around, but you don't really spot much else.
That's so
kind of
awful.
like as you're mostly walking around. What?
These magical little plants that are otherwise really nice and could grant you wishes, but they're so good.
You can also
to
eat them.
Oh my god, you have to try.
I'll see if we get close enough. I kind of see if I can like communicate with them in a way to ask if they've seen or like pray toward them for guidance on where to go next.
Right.
So I think because of your background, most people who've been out in the world kind of know what these things are anyway and know how to interact with them. I think because of Seeker's background, you'd know what they are and how they work.
Okay, fair enough.
You know that a whispered violet is kind of like you were always warned they're more like a deal with a genie. It's like hey, I'm going to say like,
gotcha. Okay. I've made a few of these. I know. And I've made terrible wishes that you've made terrible.
Yes. You would know them not to be like 100% trustworthy. Like they do what you want, but in a really like more holistic way, whereas some people might think they didn't do anything at all. Like I need £1 million, and then tomorrow, like, you know, someone passes on and you get £1 million. Like maybe it was the plant, maybe it's not. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like a deal with the devil kind of thing. Especially like your background. Most other folks know them as like, if you get desperate, you could make a bargain with them, you can make a trade with them, and something that you need will happen. It's just the costs are always varied.
If I don't want to turn into a crystal when I die.
In this moment, I guess this is only something that Seeker could answer of like, you're seeing a whispered violet go by. You could ask for a deal. Like,
I will ask. I just kind of like, guys, just give me like a minute and a half. I'll be right back. And I just kind of try and approach in a very reverent, respectful way, because plants are my jam. They don't care about me.
Yeah, they give no fucks about you. You know that the phrase to like initiate a deal with them is "Why do you whisper violet?" And being that you've probably maybe dealt with one of these before, you know that kind of like time around you would stop and you could like have a conversation with one and make a deal if need be.
I set my watch to 1:30. Why do you whisper, Violet?
Those of you who are in the know of what this plant is, those of you who have like seen it or have heard about it, like it's probably quite obvious that Seeker is going off to see a plant this is meandered by. It is up to you.
Is the plant actually walking by?
Yeah, it's like this little plant, and it's just kind of like using its roots to kind of like walk along the side of the road out of your way. It's like, I'm a tasty tea. Nom, 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 just walking past you. Like, I think lark, especially, you would know them as being a very edible plant. Like, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't think about that too much, Sully. You want to be able to run again, but you'll have restless leg syndrome the rest of your life. Be horrible.
What the fuck? When Seeker tells us, like, wait 1 second, he starts walking towards the violets, whispering violets. He's just like, No, I genuinely think he's kind of stunned. Just like, surely he's gonna eat one, right? Like,
Plants are my thing. It's okay.
We
I'm a
have some
vegetarian.
supplies. You don't need to eat them.
I'll explain it a little bit.
this man.
Where am I going?
And then I head to the plants.
I'll explain it. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like a little bit of a walk away from them. Like from the rest of your team, like it's like, yeah, they're gonna go check on these. You guys do your thing, and like you're a little bit of a distance enough away that your people will be able to shout at you.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you kind of like lean down, the plant kind of like turns. It's like petals up to look at you. And yeah, you're able to whisper like, why do you whisper violets? And I need the three of you who aren't Travis to take your headphones off.
You fucking lunatic.
Whoa.
Just opening with a fucking wish.
I'll take it. I have a very real
Travis.
fear.
When you whisper, why do you whisper violets? It's the first time that you've had a proper interaction with them to do this. And everything around you goes deathly quiet, as if all of time itself has stopped. And indeed, as you look around, squirrels halfway up the tree have stopped moving. Your companions down the road, who are, I'm assuming, looking at you a little concerned, or like, hey, why are you eating that? Why are you going to get this? We don't need this. Like, they're frozen mid-sentence, and you see a woman who is sitting on a nearby rusted car. You can see that she has long, wavy blonde hair, and she has a crown of flowers, autumnal flowers. You can see that she has black eyes, and that the only coloration there is the irises, which are a very pale blue. A very pale green. She is wearing leaves as a dress, which is probably a tad too risky to be walking around out here, but as she opens her mouth, you can see her teeth are a little too long and a little too sharp, and her hands and her fingers are a little bit shorter than they should be and end in thorns instead of nails.
I don't know how this works exactly, but hello, my name is Henry.
I know.
I do not wish to share the fate of my family.
Now you see, my dear.
As she she like stands up, and like she suddenly becomes from like almost like a 5 foot something woman to like 6, 7, 8 foot. She kind of gets closer and then like sits down like next to you.
The thing is, there are some rules I have. Sweetie, I can't do anything with time, and I can't do anything with death. Well, avoiding death.
And she kind of smiles.
I don't have a problem with dying necessarily. I just don't want to become a crystal thing after I die. I don't want to become part of whatever that is. It's unnatural, and I don't like it. I hate it. I want to not be anything to do with that. Is that something you could do?
She kind of like pulls her legs underneath her and she kind of like leans forward on her like elbows to be able to like stare you in the face. And she says,
The thing is, my dear, as much as I would love to help you, I can't stop what your death will bring about. I can definitely stop you from becoming crystal and killing your people around you, but I can't stop your death, and I can't stop what your death means. That I don't have the power for.
That's fair. I appreciate you being so candid. Dear friend.
Violet.
Violet.
Call me Violet.
Dear Violet. Then beyond that, I have no other real wishes except to acquire that book that might change the world.
What are you asking for? I will only grant you one desire, because I believe you can only pay one price right now.
What is that price?
Do you want the book, or do you want to not turn into crystal when you die?
If the medium of what I become does not change the outcome, it is meaningless. If it means the same thing for me, I will reluctantly admit that I am a bit selfish, and I am less concerned if I can't change it that way. But someone very dear to me was working on something very important, and I wish to see that work completed so that I can bring an end to that part of my life and an end to what they were doing. So one book would be a very big step in that direction toward making things better. And it wouldn't be killing anyone, and it wouldn't be playing with time.
she smiles.
I can make sure that you come into possession of that book. In fact, I can ensure that it will be at the next town you come across. If you are to dive deep into the earth, like a burrow, I can tell you that it's there. I can ensure that it will actually be there at the right time.
What is your cost?
You have a friend. No, that's not quite true. You do have friends, but not what I'm thinking of. When the horseman comes, he won't be coming for you. He'll be coming for one of your companions.
Opens and closes mouth. Is that a statement or a question or in order?
Currently, on your trajectory, if I was not to interfere, the horseman will come and save you.
Oh, okay. And if I take your wish...
He won't. He will save someone else instead.
If he will save someone, as long as this book is worth it. I need that book, and I can do a lot of good with that book, even with very little time, and maybe even change this outcome.
That is true. It is a potential.
Okay, I accept your terms, Violet. Thank you. Please, and such.
Say hello to Gerald. Tell him Violet said hello.
Okay. And thank you.
Don't thank me yet, dear boy.
She reaches over, puts a hand on your shoulder, and it's as if she's about to lean in to kiss you on the cheek when suddenly everything suddenly comes back into focus. The sounds start coming back. You can hear the birds, the trees. You can hear the people up the end of the road. You are aware that she's gone and that the plant you were talking to, the one that you whispered to, is also gone.
Yeah, minute 30. See? Back.
Did you just make a deal with the Whispering Violet?
What?
Did you just make a deal with the Whispering Violet?
I turn around. I don't see a Whispering Violet.
He ate it.
Did you have lunch yet? You said we'd eat after like 2 hours, and it's been like 4.
I hope that whatever you asked for was worth the price it's gonna take from you. Now let's eat.
For those of you who are slightly observant, the plant that Seeker was talking to vanished. Like, it was there 1 second and gone the next, and then he was tapping his watch saying it was a minute and a half. It was definitely not a minute and a half.
Sonic's gonna get some food out, and he's definitely giving Seeker the fucking stink eye right now.
Look, you said this book is important.
It's a deal for the book.
We need it, and we'll get it. It's going to be in the burrow, and when down the burrow. That's where we're going to where we're going to Gumpendorf. It's waiting for us at a certain time. Maybe it's on its way there, but it'll be there by the time we get there, maybe or so. And we need to move quickly once we get the book. That's really all I know. Enjoy your meal.
I'm not trying to be too hard on you. I understand that when things are difficult or things you really care about are at stake, that we make these kind of decisions. Just, I hope you... It felt... You didn't seem like you knew what you were doing before you started walking towards them.
I'm not becoming a crystal. I'm not dying. I'm not being I'm not becoming part of whatever they've become part of. I'm not going to let that happen to me. And I will never let that happen. I need to find this book.
Then I will help you find that book. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, it's cool. We're traveling together and you're helping me. You need to know what I know. But if I'm putting everyone I'm living near at risk, that's big. And I can't. For the ethical reasons, that's important. And, I don't want to hurt people around me if I get hurt, of course. Seeker's half lying, but no one really can check him on this. But really, you don't know what I was raised, Aster and I were raised to believe, to learn. And every one of them became part of something terrible. And he's part of it now too. And I don't want to share his fate. Is really, if I can be a bit real with you, Sully. You helped me out a bit, and you helped me avoid a lot of things already, and we've only been traveling for like a day. But I feel like you can empathize maybe with that, and maybe in understanding my very rational fear of not wanting to be there, we can just get this book and change whatever needs to be changed, and change everything maybe for the better, so that no one else has to share that fate. But
you're right. I guess I wasn't thinking about the kind of burden you're bearing. I don't know what it feels like to know that or realize you are a walking bomb. I'm sorry for that. I have not been thinking about it from your point of view. It's unfair. I hope we can do the best for you. I really do. And I aim to.
Thank you.
Sounds like your goals are good. I believe you mean the best, and I want to help you.
Thank you. And I've only had this for like a day. I didn't think it was a thing, and then now knowing it's every reminder is really upsetting, and I try not to think about it, and I try to sleep through it. And hearing that I can't trust Ralph when I'm trying to sleep is not the most helpful thing, and then his friend trying to also maybe make things worse. I don't know, but let's eat some bread. Let's go to this town and let's get ourselves a book and see what we can do. Or notes.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I think we share a quick meal, probably walking and eating at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You'll probably have a couple of hours more walk along the edge of this kind of like riverbank, far enough away that, you know, you're not going to fall in and not close enough that, you know, the trees are going to interact with you. Still walking along the road a fair bit. Yeah, you'll probably have a couple more hours walking. Does anyone want to say or do anything as you go before I interrupt you with plot?
Fudge. No, I think the little conversation I desperately needed to have with Secret before, like I feel like it was you kind of pulled it out of me there. Good job.
Okay. It's probably about 3 hours maybe before you think sundown's coming. The light is still incredibly good. It's still like really bright. Most of the rain that had fallen has definitely cleared up. And you begin to see signs, kind of like really old metal signs that are quite faded and covered in gunk and crap, but you can see someone's clearly tried to clean off some of it, and it tells you that you're arriving in the area of Gumpendorf, and it talks about this like big mountain with like this mine at the bottom of it, and as you like continue walking along you see signs for like the tourist attraction of like the mines of Gumpendorf, and it has like all these kind of like over the top signs that are just like, come this way, this is where you'll see the old town, this is where you can see actual dynamite left by miners. Like they're trying to hype up this place quite a lot. You can also see, like, as you arrive, that there are a lot of these houses here. They are kind of covered in plants and vines, and you can barely see roof, or you can barely see wall or windows. It's just a green mass of plants. Some of them are moving, some of them aren't. But you kind of see this, like, around the bottom of this mountain. And you can see that there is clearly a cleared path that goes through kind of like past a couple of these small houses. It goes past like the kind of like entrance to the mine area and like begins to make its way up the mountain itself. And you can see, like, looking up, those of you who are slightly eagle-eyed or those who've been here before, you can see that there is clearly like a collection of like houses and homes that are on the top of this at the top of this mountain, and you can see these like really large standing pillars of stone, even from the distance you are, that are not natural. They have clearly been put there, but they are at the top of the mountain. Yeah, it would probably take you, if you were to start like walking and climbing up there now, it would probably take you a couple of hours. You'd be like really close to like sunset, and honestly thinking about it, it would probably be the other side of the sun going down that you'd be able to make the top. But maybe you could do it quickly. Maybe you could call for someone. Maybe those who are much quicker than Sully could make it up there far quicker than him. But this is the reality of the situation that you have. Could I have one of you please make a hard listen check?
Lark, I'm not distracting you this time.
Okay. That's a fail.
Unfortunately, you don't hear anything that the others don't. You can hear the sounds of birds. You can hear the sounds of game and like slightly bigger birds that you would hunt for food if need be. You can hear the sounds of kind of plants rustling around and moving. Yeah, you don't hear anything unexpected in this area.
Sounds good.
Ralph, I don't think we can make it up to the mountain, to the base today. Could you, before we decide to stay down here, could you have your robot like take a quick gander around the area, see if you can find any natural safe places to stay, or if you can spot the thing following us?
Sure. Rolf will send his drone out. Did I recover any battery at all from my brief morning?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Sunbathing.
Yeah, and you've also had like the entire day of walking, which has been extremely sunny. So yeah, like you'd be up to like full batteries at this point.
Oh, wow.
It's like an unusually bright day. So yeah, you could absolutely recover all the battery drain that you've had from the night before of OT being his own little unit. OT, OT, you would want to be like surveying the like local area to where you are, not going up the mountain, because that would also take OT a very long time and be very draining on the batteries and take a while.
Okay.
Surveying like the area, you are able to see that a lot of the houses are like just completely clogged up. Even like the 2 and 3 story buildings, the facility buildings are here. The only thing that's really cleared is the area in front of the mountain, which is just all hard bedrock, which has like what looks like an old tourist building in there, and there's a couple of like rusted cars that are sitting outside, and the entrance to the mine itself, which is just all rock. Like the kind of safest place would be like the tourist hall, I guess, because it also looks like it has been like cleaned out and looked after. I mean, judging by the fact that the clear pathway between the entrance of, at the edge of Gumpendorf all the way up to the mountain seems to be cleared. This area also seems to have been cleared.
Okay. The buildings are pretty much not inhabitable. Is that kind of how you're describing, or they're
the
collapsed?
The other buildings in town are just coated in plants. Anything could be hiding inside them, and really the only cleared place is the pathway that leads up the mountain, and this kind of touristy place is attached to a mine. Like that's kind of it, really.
All right, so it looks like the path is clear. All the buildings around it, not so much. There's one kind of touristy place up there. It looks like it might be okay.
All right. That sounds about right. They probably have a place, like, very low in the mountain for people to stay if they can't make it up there. I wish there was something better, but, yep. We'll just move our butts there and settle down for the night.
You know, I could maybe help you move faster. There's a series of words that, when strung together, sometimes inspire speed in others, he says, lying through his teeth, but hopefully persuasive enough to try and motivate him with a pep talk.
I think. Carry on.
So I'll, if you wouldn't mind, he hands him the charm. If you just put this in your pocket, I'll whisper while we walk, and you do what you're doing, and maybe I'll move a little bit faster. And I try and persuade him that this is definitely the truth. With the best of
my... It's 100% a lie, so this is 100% a fast talk. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You do not know any spells. This is 100% a fast talk. For Sully, this would be a psychology.
If he wants to.
Like, I'm assuming he's just casting a spell on me, so, like...
You can go with it. If you guys want to go with this, I'm totally fine with that.
I failed. Hard fail.
Okay, I'm not rolling against you.
And I'll just clarify, it's just so Sully has that placebo, that maybe it is something there, and maybe he'll be able to move a little faster.
Yeah. Sully just like...
This is your choice.
Stuffs it in his pocket and kind of like... I don't like it, but I guess do what you have to do. Let's move to the tourist building, and we'll see how we feel there, if we can make it to the top of the mountain by nightfall.
We should find a spot where we can stay for the night and start gathering some things with which we can make fires. Don't think we can go all the way up there.
You're probably right. All right, do your thing.
And Seeker will just quietly repeat positive phrases like, you can do it, you're strong, you're fast. And then he'll but he's saying this in not the common tongue. I know there's a slightly off tongue that I can use that.
Yeah, so there's tourist, which is the equivalent of common. It just is common. It's what most people speak. It was the what's the tourist language that really kicked off before the sprouting. So yeah, like you may have like a local language. The local language of most people here would be Italian, but some might have French, some might have German. Your town might have something that just developed over time that looks nothing like any of those languages whatsoever. So yeah, you could say something that
I say it in Italian.
I think that's totally fine.
Cult Italian, and just keep him like just positive mantras. Nothing special, but he won't know that, and maybe it'll help.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna get ourselves to the touristy place, and I think when we get there, Sully is like leaning on Lark's idea, which is let's start gathering firewood. Let's make sure that we have what we need to survive the night if the thing comes after us again.
Yeah, about this time is about 2 hours before sunset, and the sun is still like pretty bright up in the sky. But you're able to very quickly begin to gather brushwood together, something you could set fire to, like not relying on what may or may not be in may or may not be a safe house. Yeah, you're able to do that as you kind of like begin to lean into that idea. Could I have all of you please make a spot hidden for me, please?
Success.
Oh, come on.
Incredible fail.
Okay, somebody got a success. Jesus.
I'm surrounded by old men.
well, Henry, Seeker isn't actually that much older than you.
I
A little
failed.
bit.
I'm not double your age.
Okay. Nah, you're less than double Lark's age. As the other three are collecting firewood for the evening, Lark, as you're kind of like gathering supplies too, you kind of look out the corner of your eye and you see a person slightly taller than you, maybe, just suddenly ducking behind a tree. There's some distance out.
Is it like? Does it look the same like the shadows?
It looks
from the
like
night
the
before?
first time that you saw the person ducking behind the bush behind Sully. It was like the first time you saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lark is like clasping whatever firewood they have, and like if there's some way out from the others, they'll start rushing towards them, and they're gonna say, "It's starting! I see people over there," and they indicate the direction with a nod of the chin, since they have a lot of wood in their hands.
I drop my bundle and flashlight turns on.
All right. Don't panic. We need to gather as much wood as we can. We need to get it somewhere safe. We need to start up a fire. And we will repeat what we did yesterday. Stay vigilant. Stay awake. We'll have firewood to spare. We're smart people. We can do this again.
And Sully is gonna like grab the firewood secret drop and like put it under his other arm and start like moving it towards the thing. And he looks to Secret and says, "Go get more."
I'll get out to go grab more.
Seek more.
I will seek more firewood and kind of have my mirror rifle out as I'm like, since it's slung, it's not like up at all times. I'm more or less just sort of like occasionally trying to peek over the little mirror bit while grabbing wood and using the rifle as one of the pieces of wood in the bottom.
Yeah, like you can definitely like grab more firewood. And as you're looking around the forest, like you think you see someone just peeking their head out from behind a tree and then putting it back again. And then you look back up and their head is poked out from the other side. And they seem to be getting like closer and closer to you as you're out there in the forest gathering up firewood. As you return back to the tourist building where the others are, you think you spot something moving over by the entrance to where the mine is.
Anyone out there? If you are, please let us know, because we think you're a shadow creature and we don't want to hurt you. And I pass the wood.
You see the entrance to the mine. You see this large metal iron gate that's there. And although you don't see anything moving there again, you hear rattling at the gate. And it's something that you can all hear. You can all hear this rattle.
Like the rattle of chains, or
it's like a big metal iron gate. So when it kind of moves, like against this like lock, you're going to hear like metal clanging.
Okay.
So they're closing the door.
No, the door is closed. It's just rattling in its hinges.
Oh.
That might be a safe spot to go, maybe?
Somebody's tried to get in.
So Seeker would be outside since he's just like handing over the wood and just arriving back to the tourist house. And he is seeing the entrance to the mine, which isn't in the building of the touristy place. Like the entrance to mine is like a little bit further out.
The mine is it maybe safer or maybe not. No, that's probably a terrible idea. No, actually the mine. We're supposed to go down. We need to go to the borough of Gumpendorf to get the book.
The mine. Is the mine safer? Is the mine safer?
I don't know how many windows this place has, but it's probably more than the gas station.
Yeah, I'm imagining the...
Yeah, 100%. So the touristy
terrible.
building that you find yourself at has like a little ramp that leads up to the door itself, and the door is like quite large. It's double. You can see that it's made of glass. Was made of glass. Yeah, no, it is like made of something that has yet to be shattered, but it is see-through. You can see that the building is quite large. There are quite a few windows. They're not massively big windows that we'd expect from like a modern build of trying to look futuristic and sleek. No, this is like some old wooden hut that has been converted into a, hey, come check out the local town history. And peering through the doors, you can see they have like... cabinets with like glass fronts or tables with glass tops, and you can see that there are like signs in there and pictures, and there's like old mining equipment that is like behind protective glass and all types of rocks, and there's pictures of people in there. You can see just even looking through the door that there is a like a reception desk that's covered in like these papers and leaves. You can see that kind of like cleared out in a space in front of that. There are what looks like a couple of sleeping bags and like a small pack of like a small like basket that seems to have like fruits and seeds and nuts in it, things that don't go off very quickly, and what looks like a small kerosene lamp. It's clearly set up to be we are fucked and stuck. You go to this sort of place and replace what you have to. You can sleep the night. As long as everything is set back again, it's a safe place for the next person who passes through.
Yeah, but it's not, oh shit, we're like fucked. It's oh damn, we can't make it to town.
Yes.
Yeah, you described it as if it was a fort like, there in the last sentence.
Yeah, like, well, it might be if you're running away from plants. This might be a safer choice than sleeping outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like, it would be like a safe house that this town has obviously set up at the bottom of the mine if it's impossible to reach the top by nightfall.
I suggest the mine. I think there's a gate we can cover and close, and it's only got one way in and one way out. I mean, maybe it doesn't, but we can look the other ways.
Is the gate open is the real question.
It just rattled, so I think we could probably get in. We could try to make a break for it, and there's a lamp over there. You see the kerosene lamp?
What if it rattled because of the same reason the door rattled last night?
Creature tried to get in.
Then we would see the creature now instead of later. And we've got 3 guns and fire and a lamp and a flashlight.
Yeah. Sully's leaning on the mine idea because this doesn't feel like a very defendable position. When I imagine...
I've got a bit of an issue. I don't like that idea at all. So...
Do you have something against mines?
Shadows that can come from downstairs.
I don't like the underground very much.
But it's safe there within the earth.
Character flaws. Yay.
I'm trying to kill you with my mind.
No, don't.
9 bullets. That's telekinesis, Kyle.
Fuck. Okay,
I don't have the power to move you, but...
I hate the idea. Just
yeah. All right, V. Now it's just the real question. Because I'm not in the situation, I, Aethor, cannot make this judgment call.
Okay.
But does Sully feel like this is a defendable position against random goddamn apparitions?
Well, unless you go inside, from what you see right now, there are quite a lot of windows.
Yeah.
Would be...
I assume I've gone inside.
difficult-
Like I feel like before we started collecting firewood, I went inside once because I feel like saying,
sure.
"Oh, that looks fine," and then starting to gather firewood is a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Is there a basement?
No, there is not a basement. You would know that there's walls here that create like partitions. You can tell that there are like a lot of standing cases with things inside it. There is like obviously the bathrooms, and there's a little staff room in there. All of them have windows that lead to the outside. The staff room itself is not particularly big. Like this was obviously only meant to be run by like 1 or 2 people as a volunteer thing. You can tell that the supply set up are for like the shit, we're kind of stuck, or like crap, I can't make it back there this evening. It's not massively defendable. The area is a little bit too big. Like if you were to set up the same kind of torch system that you had last night, it would not light all the corners. And if this thing can travel in the dark and it could travel through shadows, maybe it could get in somewhere that you can't see, like through a bathroom window, and then use the shadows from there. The mine, however,
I feel like the mine would not have the same issues.
It's one way in. I'm going to say if you've been inside, you can see like a little map of the mine, and it's like there are these layers, and it doesn't appear to be another exit. It has like things down and floors. But it's a mine. It's going to be filled with shadow. It's dark. It's unless you had a generator. It's a mine full of darkness. It's if you're looking for protection from shadows, a mine with no exterior light whatsoever is not a good one.
Also, the fire thingy that you were so concerned about with the smoke escape.
That's actually not so bad in a mine because it's quite big, and mines tend to have their own draft system anyway.
Yeah, if they're mining it.
Just for the fact that it exists and that there's different temperatures, so there's different differentials in there. Air gets like pulled out really quickly with like fires and stuff in mines.
If it's a coal mine, this is going to go really well.
I know.
Can I show them the first part of the security breach video and none the rest of it, because I don't want to traumatize them, of just it like getting into the shit so that they can see how I think that's a bad idea.
That is something that is like 100% like OT will not destroy that because it might be useful one day. If you want to show them that, you can absolutely do them. You can absolutely do that. If you lead it in, then I'll describe what they see.
And nothing intense. Yeah. So just the part where it gets in the door. That's it.
Yeah. Ralph has objections and wishes to show you why. What you see, I'm sorry, Neil, I'm not 100% with the phrasing on it, so it may be slightly iffy, but bear with me. What you see is an open door that leads into a corridor. And whatever viewpoint you have is looking at that open door and the corridor that runs past it. It's not a corridor that leads away from it, it goes past it. You see in the images crackling of red and purple energies, as if it comes out of nowhere, just starting there a little bit in front of the door. Out of this you see vines, grey, thick, wide vines that begin to like leave this area of crackling and fall to the floor. You see the vines begin to create a new shape where it kind of rises up and creates 2 extremely long arms carrying the sickles of Yamal, one in each hand. You see large, long legs form. You see this head-shaped form that has this mirror-type face. It kind of looks in your direction and then moves forward. I'm going to say OT is not going to show them anymore.
Yeah.
This is what you see on OT's display before OT chooses not to show you anything else.
Why are you showing us a movie? It's getting closer. We've got to be working on firewood. So I get why you're afraid and why you don't want to do in there. Okay, you could have just said that. Lark, what is your vote?
You were still talking about it.
I don't like the mine either.
Okay, then I'm outvoted. So here, let's make this place defendable the best we can. Maybe there's a bathroom or something we can all haul in.
All right, let's figure this out. Ooh. Is there a bathroom, V? Is there a
there's two.
handy, capable, accessible bathroom which is slightly bigger than normal bathrooms?
ADA compliant.
That's not small windows.
Yeah, got a little tiny little window. Definitely big
Yeah.
enough for 4 people.
Yes. It's still a tight squeeze, and you're definitely still going to have that window open, but you could make that defendable. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that could work.
All right. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna set up there. I think.
However, Sully and Seeker, I need you both to make sanity checks. You have seen a version of this creature before.
I have. Well, I rolled a 39.
The pair of you kind of jumped in before I could be like, oi, oi, oi.
Whoa!
My bribes, they're paying off.
How did you both do?
Success.
Succeed.
Okay, you both take 1 point of sanity damage as you see a creature that's extremely similar to the creature that you guys have seen before.
The thing that came out. Oh, Jesus.
Yep. You both have seen this at Pt.3, so... Except that one was 20 foot tall and had big, like, trunk-like arms and legs. This is a much skinnier, more... It's like the Slender Man version of that same thing.
Okay.
Except looks pretty wicked.
Okay.
So what you're saying is Sully lied to me.
I did?
Yeah, I asked the last night if you've seen this thing before. You said nope.
Oh, no.
No, not this. They see something similar to
but
this.
Ah, okay.
I get where you're
It's not
coming
the same.
from. No, the thing I saw is like saying, you've seen a donkey before, so why didn't you tell me you've seen an elephant before? It's like, it's not the same thing.
You've seen mammals. Same thing.
They're all the same.
Or donkey and a horse, I think is more apt. But anyway, yeah. We're definitely going to try to set up in the disabled bathroom. There we go. I actually remember the real name for it. And yeah, we're going to like pile in all the firewood that we've gotten, and then we're going to barricade the door. And yeah, we're going to set ourselves up in the disabled bathroom. That's definitely what we're going to do.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Throughout that time, through all of the windows, each of you see variations of the shadow type creatures, the same that you saw the night previously, that seem to be getting closer and closer. And as the sun sets, you begin to like barricade the door up. You have a new torches set up. The kind of window is a little bit too high for like an average person to be able to reach up and like climb through, and it is quite small. It's like kind of one of those slit windows, and it's kind of like slightly ajar. Could I have one of you please make a spot hidden for me, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. 22. Success.
Hard success. Fantastic. You're aware that the door is like not perfectly fitted, and you can see that there's like gaps around it, especially in the ground, and that helps like the lot of you actually be able to barricade this thing properly.
It's an American
so it's
bathroom
not just
door.
like it's like those things are like half a foot off the floor. It's like 2 inches. Like someone could definitely get in under there. But like you spotted that, so you're very easily able to like cover that up and like make that a slightly more secure.
It's like an air shaft or whatever. You need to put that like that plushy animal in front of it so the draft doesn't go through.
You need a draft excluder. You actually find one of the draft excluders. It's shaped like a
sausage dog. No.
Yeah, like a sausage dog. Yeah, with a little miner's hat on. Like you managed to find that inside like the gift shop part, and you can put that in front of the door. So yeah, you managed to make that slightly not an obvious place. Okay. You all hear the sounds of movement around the building, probably long after the sun sets. Like you managed to get everything in quickly. You managed to be able to like, yep, here's a little place we can make a fire. We've actually found like this kind of like metal stand that used to have like a glass top on it, and you can take that out and like build your fire in that so it's not burning the floor, and that you can like still have it close enough up to the window where the fumes are taken out very, very quickly. You managed to be able to find that. It is a really tight squeeze. Because there are 4 of you in there and you are burning fire. It's not a great situation to be in.
But at least it's warm.
It is warm, and considering that, like, for the last few days it's been a little bit cold. I mean, today's been an exception, as you would expect in spring. Weather changes drastically quickly. It's warm. It's definitely. I'm going to take my coat off, and this is too warm for my liking. Sweat pouring out of every orifice. It is kind of like that. Whom is going to stay awake first? Are you all just going to hang out and chat for a bit? Like, what's your feeling on what you guys want to do right now?
Be apathetic.
We had a lull in activity at the beginning of last night, and then we had something happen, and after that, it kind of fucked off after we shot at it.
Yeah.
So I think Sully is running on like the barest of fumes. And he's just going to slump in the corner and just like, please, just give me 20 minutes, an hour, and I'll take shift again. I need to close my eyes for a little bit, please.
Okay. I'll take shift then. That's fine. I got some sleep last night.
Sully is definitely like slumped against the corner, and he has his gun like in his like
Hugging it like a bear.
Yeah, it's like in his like arms as he sleeps.
Okay. So we have Seeker up, Ralph and Lark.
Yeah, I'm not
Lark
gonna...
is gonna... Yeah. You do first.
I'm not really feeling comfortable. So I'm gonna be up for at least like an hour or two. So
Okay.
I'll be near a window, just kind of watching.
Yeah. Lark is also not very comfortable, so they're pulling out a scarf out of their backpack and wrapping it around themselves. And I think they're going to take out the compass and just looking at it.
Yeah. Are you staring at the fluid, or are you just kind of nonchalantly looking at it?
Just nonchalantly looking at the arrow thing.
Okay. I will get back to you on that. For the three of you who are still awake, could I have each of you? You may take either. I would have each of you please take a listen check.
I hear nothing. I'm just sticking around with the flashlight and the mirror.
Ooh, success.
Failure.
Oh.
Fail.
Yeah, Henry dicking about with the flashlight. Ralph just, I'm assuming, not comfortable.
Yeah.
Lark, you hear the sound of a clock. It sounds like it's off in the distance. There wasn't a clock inside the building, or rather there was, but there was nothing powering it. It wasn't moving. And either way, the ticking sound isn't coming from inside at all. It sounds like it's coming from outside. Like opposite the window, the tiny window that you have, it sounds like it's a bit of a distance in that direction.
Does anyone else hear that?
I listen closer and probably say, no?
The ticking?
It's... If you're just gonna, like, genuinely stop dicking about with your flashlight and actually try and listen. Now that Lark has said it, maybe there's a ticking out there. Like, some distance off, but that might just be, like, everybody knows how annoying a ticking clock is. Maybe you're just imagining it, but now that Lark said it, the pair of you awake, maybe you can hear it?
Kids have better hearing, and you're kind of young, so maybe you can hear it really well, but there's some frequencies as you get older that just sort of...
That's the crests. The crests out there.
The crests?
Oh, there's Hollow's crest out there. The ones that look like birch trees.
Do I know these to be plants?
Yeah, you know them to look like birch trees, exactly as Lark is describing. You've heard the ticking sound come from plants before, but plants never seem to come near you or worry about you, so it's probably something you file back in the back of your mind of like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, that's fine. They're out there and they don't really care about us right now. We're worried about a shadow creature, not plants.
No, you don't understand. If they're out there, they're going to find us.
No, they don't care about me. And because you're with me, maybe you too.
They must have seen us come in. They must be outside. They must be.
We don't want to go outside. You know what? This could be actually the thing messing with us right now because it knows that you're afraid of these things. That's what could be happening.
You think it's just not real?
I think it wants us to go outside, and if you're thinking you hear something that makes you want to go outside, then that is a very real thing that's probably happening. Also, do you happen to know anyone by the name of Gerald?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me a story? Something to take your mind off this?
Yes.
So, like, where you mentioned you had, like, a sibling, and maybe that's a sore topic. Let's not go there. But, like, maybe you have a favorite food. What do you like eating?
Grapes.
And you've got a couple, right? You still have a few left?
Yeah, I was saving them for tomorrow.
Maybe, like, tonight we can have a couple. You know, they'll probably be worse tomorrow. If you think... What else do you like food-wise? So you like grapes. Do you... There's water, of course.
I like pears.
You all hear a sudden loud smashing against the door, which definitely wakes Sully.
Oh, Lark is screaming. And they're retreating into a corner.
I'll shoot the door.
Hey! Proud of you.
Hey!
Hey! We're going
Take a
to
shot.
kill these doors.
Okay, not a literal shot. So it would be firearms rifle.
I failed to hit the door.
You definitely hit the door. That was not the impossible task. You definitely managed to hit the door and you blow like a good-sized hole in it, especially because you're so fucking close. The shot, you hear a loud bang on the side of the door as if someone has smashed against it, and then like an immediate gunshot goes off immediately afterwards that kind of echoes around in this small bathroom.
Could I use 20 luck?
He wasn't awake before, he fucking is now.
Could I use 20 luck to make that into a hit? I feel really bad about missing.
20 luck.
You're not allowed to use luck on a combat roll, V.
Yes.
No, you can push them, right?
Ooh.
So, Travis, I can offer you two things at this point. First of all, you can't use luck on a combat roll, you can't use them on sanity rolls, or also you can't use them on luck rolls. I can offer you two things. One, you can push the roll, which means you get to roll again, but if you fail again...
There's too many people next to the door.
There is a genuine consequence, and it is not good, and it might not affect you, but it might affect your companions. Or I can offer you an Eldritch Bargain, which is you and I discuss... This is definitely going to work, but there is going to be a cost to it. It will just probably be an RP one.
I'm okay with missing the door. That's okay. If I can't use my luck to shoot the door, that's all right.
Alas, in this situation.
I don't want to shoot Sully on accident.
Oh, but please. Yeah, sure. You shoot the door. You definitely hit the door. You just don't hear an appropriate scream that comes with it. You just blast a hole through it, and you can see like looking through the hole, all of you can see like the kind of shafts of moonlight that are coming through.
I think Sonny kind of like scuffles up the wall, like the kind of like weird, like goes up. He's holding his shotgun like close to his chest, and like looking around. Okay, so it's out there. I'm not hearing any screaming. Let me get my rifle.
There's no screaming because there's the crests outside. They don't scream.
There's a crest outside?
They just tick.
Oh, we think we might have heard crests, or it could just be the things in our heads, the shadow people.
Sully's gonna sperra eirun. We have a phrase for this in Icelandic.
Thank you.
Like, it basically means like pitch your ears or like tighten your ears. But he's gotta
kind of like
perk up.
Yeah, he's gonna perk his ears. Yeah, try to listen for a crest. And yeah, he's like slowly aiming his like rifle at the door, like, oh boy.
You do think you hear some ticking, but it is off in the distance.
They definitely heard the gunshot.
Now you hear
through your
nothing
ears.
anymore.
Oh yeah,
maybe none of you hear anything.
Yeah, I don't
Lark is also like in a corner, just scrambled into a corner and is like covering their ears.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can hear the crest, but it's far away. That is not whatever hit the door. Okay. You guys have kept the fires going. It's good. You guys are doing good.
Reload my bolt action. Yeah. There was just some ticking noises. We thought it might be something spooky, but I think it's maybe just trying to get us to go outside.
Okay.
Lark is just swaying and trying to repeat to themselves, like muttering to themselves, not real, not real, not real, not real.
I put my coat over Lark. My trench coat.
This is also not real.
I just pat it.
I'm imagining you're draping it around Lark, not throwing it over Lark like a chair. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, I was going over like when you have like a piece of furniture in a house covered in a thing, or like a magician. I'd put it over Lark and just pat from the top like a comfort blanket. Like the pressure and the weight of a trench coat might be soothing.
Okay.
As you put the trench coat as a comfort blanket around Lark, Lark, you still hear the crest, but they do really sound like they're quite far off. And as the trench coat / comfort blanket is placed upon you, the four of you hear again at the door a very loud smash, and you see like a crack beginning to form, especially using the hole in the door as like a focus point.
I'll fire again. Same spot.
Yeah, same here. Yep, Sully's doing it.
Yep. Anyone else wishing to shoot at the door?
No.
Lark is busy.
No. I have my knives in my hand. Why would I
Wanna shoot that at the
try
door?
to use a gun if I have 2 knives?
Are you with your knives in hand? Is one of them the sickle? I mean, you mentioned that you were going to have that yesterday.
Yes. Do I still have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
then
you
that's-
threw it to the side, you still have
Not
it. Yeah.
yet. Not yet. I know that I should be getting rid of it soon, probably, but right, I feel unsafe. So.
All right, the two of you who wish to shoot, make your shots, please.
I have rolled and I failed.
I failed.
Could I offer either of you a push roll?
Sully, take it.
Could I offer you a push roll in this hard times?
Yes, fine. But don't be mad at me when I blast your fucking legs off. Oh, Jesus
If
Christ.
you shoot and you miss, your gun will... It's your choice.
Yeah.
The gun will either kind of like jam and cause like a feedback to you, so you severely damage your hands and you'll take some damage. Or the shot will kind of like ricochet off of something and catch Seeker in the shoulder.
We could both push at the same time.
Don't you dare push. I see that 35 you're rolling on. You put those dice down, boy.
Travis, no!
You got this. You got this, Sully.
We believe in you, Sully.
I'll go with what's it called when a backfire. I'll go with a backfire.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'm rolling again. Oh yes, extreme success.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Yeah, the second shot was really, really it. You can roll damage. Like you hear this gunshot come out, and I think I got you all to make a luck or a listen.
I remember it was luck at one point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's luck. Yeah, could I have all four of you please make a luck check?
Because if it were listen, I wouldn't have.
Yes, I think it was luck because you were the only one who passed.
That's true.
Oh, damn it. Fail.
Yeah.
Fail.
I got it.
19.
All right. First of all, what was the damage that Sully put out with the gun?
15.
Okay, you can
That is
definitely hear screaming.
Very high.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Feeling lucky.
It's pretty good.
Now,
99.
I'm gonna stop you.
Yes.
I
Okay.
hear screaming. Is it the
that
fake
was-
screaming that I heard the night before? Is it the sound of a crest? Or is it the sound of a new person I have just blown away?
It is
All three.
based on your luck check. So those of you who passed, you don't hear anything. Those of you who failed do hear a scream. So in this case, Lark failed and Ralph failed.
Yes.
And our 2 gun-wielding maniacs were fine.
They hear nothing because guns. Too loud.
Yep.
Yeah. Lark, when this gunshot goes off, you hear Weston screaming out in pain, and you hear him say, I can't do the voice because I can't do a young person pretending to be old. I am old. So, slight issue there. You hear Weston say, please, you have to come help me. Please, I'm dying. And Ralph, you hear a mechanical scream, like gears grating against one another.
Oh.
I'm sorry, bud.
I still have no idea what your story is. I'm just catching like glimpses of it through the descriptions, but I can't metagame it.
It's Odie.
I can't wait to hear the show when it comes out next month.
Lark is putting the what's it called, the scarf over their face, and like they continue like swaying back and forth and going, not real, not real, not real, not real. This is not real, not real. You're not real.
Yes.
You're not real. You're not real.
The both of you take 2 sanity damage.
Ow. That's a limited
I think I'm just gonna flat give you those. For the 2 of you who are still standing, you can see that through the various holes that you have shot in this door and through the crack that you see forming, you see shafts of moonlight, like reflecting like inside the other inside like the main building itself. Thank you, foyer. Through the foyer, and you see like shadows moving in it.
That's no good. Trash bag closing it. Black bag in it.
All right, I'm gonna roll a strength check.
It's a trash bag. It's heavy duty.
The thing is, all right, so I have this like internal inclination to make this funny, but I'm fighting this so hard.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it?
It's really hard because what I want to do is rip the door off the hinges and leave the bag there. Just like, but I'm not going to do that.
It clips through the door. The door clips through the floor.
Yep, no way. Let me just get to my thing, and then I will see whether I can even do that.
That was more damage than I can do in 3 rounds, Aethel. Even if I had shot it.
Yeah.
Aethel, the motherfucker, has like the luck of the fucking gods in this goddamn game.
When it comes
he just
to
like
damage,
kills things in one hit. Like, fuck you, man.
it's ridiculous.
Wasn't expecting a bathroom attack.
As Seeker, as you're kind of like attempting to like cover up the holes with whatever material you have to hand, as you put the material up, you become aware that the material that you're holding up suddenly pushes against you, as if something has pushed its way through the holes, has suddenly poured against it, and you all hear this wooden ripping sound, and it basically pulls the door back into the foyer. You kind of become a little bit unsteady as like you realize that, oh, the thing I'm about to lean on isn't there anymore. Can I have you make a dexterity check for me, please, Seeker?
That's a statistic. That's an attribute. I will roll a dexterity.
Yes,
That's what I'm good at. 23.
You do not stumble forward. You do not trip over the draft excluder that is on the ground. You manage to keep your footing. As the 4 of you realise that only shattered remains of the hinges and a small piece of wood remain as your door, and you can see very clearly into the foyer.
Reloading.
We have spare
Doors?
torches. We have spare torches, don't we?
Yeah, I'd say that you would have like maybe like 2 of those.
And we have
yeah,
a lot of wood from the broken door.
Oh yeah, true. Sully's gonna like just quickly grab like one hand still on the gun, but he's gonna quickly with the other hand grab one of the unlit torches, light it, and kind of like roll it out like just outside the doorway to like light the sides of the door, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So like just get it out of the door area so that it kind of lights the area there.
Yeah.
As you do that, as you look out, you see a couple of shadows like at the other end of the building, kind of like dipping their heads in and out like behind the displays that are there. You become aware that you can see their legs like underneath the display, and like you can see them shifting around at inhuman speeds and popping their heads out, and kind of like they're still transparent. You can still tell that they're supposed to be shadows of something there, but you can't see what. But they aren't really able to get any closer due to the fire that you have thrown down. Yeah, that's the state that you're all at right now.
Did the ticking get louder now that the door's open?
No. The ticking, for the most part, I think the screaming has kind of overtaken that. Like, that sound is still there. The sound of Weston still trying to, like, call out to you. It's still there, but it is lessening now that you can see the door is gone, now that you can see the shadows moving in the back, now that you can see the light source. It's like, well, if that was him screaming and I see his shadow moving over there, that's clearly not the case. So it's becoming a lot less, and the ticking has definitely decreased. And for Ralph, the mechanical screaming and crying has also just slowly relaxed as you can see the fire, and you're well aware that OT is kind of right next to you, buddy.
Is Lark's head above the coat, or are they still under the comfort coat in a corner?
I guess under the coat, if you put it over the head.
I did. I just dropped the whole thing on you like a bird cage. Do I have any special good foods? Like a special food that's good? Hem, Folly, V.
Not really. I mean, maybe you have some of like dried fish left, and if you consider dried fish a good food, yeah.
Okay. That's very limiting. So okay, after the reload, I just kind of like pat the thing, the little huddled mass in the corner, and like, it's okay. Sully's got this, and we're safe here as long as we stay in this room. Just stay calm. If you know any songs, maybe sing them to yourself. And then I kind of...
Is anyone looking out the door at this point?
Yeah, 100%. Sully has his shotgun trained to that goddamn door.
Yeah, I still have knives.
With Sika and Lark in the back of the room, Ralph and Sully, you see the shadow forms that are moving around. Again, specific to you is what you're seeing. You see them huddling around this kind of large cabinet in the middle of the room, and they seem to be messing with it, and you see it begin to rock a little bit. You hear like a little bit of scraping sounds, and you become aware that they are moving this cabinet in your direction.
Are they barricading us in?
They're
It's
Doors not
slowly
good
like
enough for you. Take
pushing
this.
it forward, at one side at a time.
Yeah.
Screech.
they're
screech,
creating a
scrape,
shadow
scrape.
to move towards us.
Looking out the window.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
Sika, if you're looking out the window, you kind of like have to like stand on like the sink to get up to the window. Is like that kind of narrow slit above. But yeah, you can absolutely do that. And as you kind of like pop your head up to that area, you see a shadow face staring straight in at you. Could you make a sanity roll for me?
Yeah, and I'll probably fall on my butt. Yeah, 93. I will fall on my butt.
You only take 2 points of sanity damage, but I think your pride hurts more as you fall off of the sink.
And I also just want to point out that because this is an ADA bathroom, the doors are extra wide.
Yes, they are. Screech, screech as you see this cabinet being slowly warped towards you.
I think Sully's gonna... The little lantern that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we grabbed that and took it in with us as an extra light
Yeah, I
source.
think that's fine to assume, yeah.
Is it an oil lantern or is it a gas lantern?
Oil? It's
right.
like that kind of old-styley one where you could like put a match in there and light it up.
Sully's gonna...
Where you could put a match in there and light it up.
Yeah, Sully's gonna grab that thing and he's gonna turn the light on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's... We need to get this thing. We either need to set fire to something out there to get light behind the shelves they're moving, or we need to roll this so it throws light there. We need light behind the shelves. Does anybody think they can do that? Either roll this or throw it so it catches something on fire that doesn't burn us all to death.
Then the building will be on fire.
I understand that, but the creature's trying to get in here right now. We need to stop that. So rolling the thing would be preferable.
I will turn my flashlight on and try and throw that to do the same thing without having to light this thing on fire, because it's a flashlight, just to see if that works and it doesn't involve fire.
Yeah, could you roll a throw for me?
It's like shake, 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 shake,
Sentence
shake,
ever.
shake. Throw. No, 94. That's not a success. It's a hard fail.
What's your throw?
20.
Oh yeah, there's no way you're getting there with luck.
My luck, even if it was maxed out, would not.
Bargain.
I can once again, my friend, offer you a push, or I can offer you a bargain.
I think a push would be kind of hilarious in this instance because, I mean, it's a flashlight, so worse it's going to hit somebody in the head, or I mean, you can get really creative, but let's try it. It's 1 in 5 odds. I've already failed 4 rolls in a row, so this should be the 5th one. So I'll do the push.
You throw it and it
Okay.
lands in the fire in a poof of air it happens, puts the fire
The battery
out.
explodes. You what's it called when you throw something
dislocate
and
your
you
shoulder?
dislocate your
My pride's already been hurt. 52. Failure.
You manage to throw this torch, but instead of like falling to the side where it can light up this area, it kind of like falls behind the case that's moving, and it creates like a large shadowy area across like where the fire is trying to light up. It casts like a really dark shadow behind the reception desk that is really, really close to you, and it creates a dark shadow just like outside the front of the other bathrooms. You've created like a nice amount of shadow, but the cabinet is no longer moving. But you are aware that there are shadows now moving either side of kind of like the door area, as it's kind of like in hidden areas and recesses.
I will carry it out there if you need me to, Sully. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We'll figure this out. How far away from the door is the cabinet right now?
If it was to fall, it wouldn't land on your fire.
Okay. So it's far enough away. Okay, so what has happened is that they stopped pushing the
They stopped pushing the cabinet, but there are like dark sections kind of like in the corner that is like on the same wall that your bathroom is, and you're aware that there is a bathroom on the other side of each of your walls. There's a bathroom on one side of the wall and there's like a staff area on the other, and now the shadows are dark enough in those areas because you've now made shadows to actually like have the creatures like move there, and you are very aware that there is movement and sounds coming from those areas.
Do you want to move the torch over there to the other side right now, and then I'll shoot the light?
Can we see the lights from where we're standing?
You know where it is because you can see the effect of the light, but it's behind the cabinet.
Okay. Okay, Sully's gonna grab his shotgun, he's gonna unload the salt shells, and he's gonna load in his precious buck shells.
Yeah.
And the intention is to blow that goddamn cabinet away.
Okay. All right.
So the real structural part of a cabinet are the 2 side bars. The back is always just this flimsy piece of wood that like will fold. The intention is to stand in the door frame, gun at the ready, and blast each side once, and hopefully do enough damage to the sides that it just kind of crumbles and falls over.
Yeah, okay. That will happen at the same time as something else I'm going to do. So yes, go ahead and do that. So you can take your 2 shots.
Thank you. This would be short range.
Sully, Slayer of Cabinets.
Yes, that's a success.
Shotgun carpenter.
And that's also a success.
Great. What's the damages? Actually, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's a cabinet.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow this fucker apart. You take 2 very well aimed shots, and you blow the sides of the cabinet out, and you see it basically fall backwards, and kind of bounce around, and the torch that was underneath just kind of rolls to the side, so it's no longer creating a massive shadow. As exactly that moment happens, after the second shot rings out, you become aware that on either side of the bathroom that you're in, on the walls either side, on one side you hear this very loud banging as if something is trying to smash its way through from the other bathroom, and on the other side you hear the sound of metal clinking and this dragging metal sound across wooden floors.
Sully, do you know a Gerald?
Yes, that's actually my first name.
Violet says hello. And he'll take the torch, he'll light it, and he'll try and expose one of the sides, one of the other bathrooms, to reach his flashlight with the light.
Cool. I'm guessing you're stepping out of the bathroom if you're going to go try and retrieve your torch?
I'm either going to retrieve it or it's going to get destroyed. I don't want more flat. I want to try and save this left side, at least one way, so we have an exit, because if they break through the walls of this crappy bathroom made of wood, that's bad for us, because we got nowhere. So I've got to remove the shadows, but to do that I have to get the torch taken away, and then expose the other areas to burn them.
Okay, Seeker, with your ominous line of Violet says hello, you grab a flaming torch and you step out into the foyer.
Heyo, Sprouts! Thank you so much for listening to our little pot of horrors. If you enjoyed what you heard, why not join our Patreon? You can find the link to that in the show notes. One of our perks is to add names to our Not Pete Fund, which essentially allows us to keep names of people, plants, locations, etc. in the cradle dynamic and helps make our world come to life. We're also going to be giving out a Sprout-related sticker soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Our patrons are going to be the first to know. If you're a patron of at least the $1 tier, then you're going to get one for free. You're about to hear an ad for the Becoming a Great GM podcast. In case you ever wanted to become an awesome GM/DM/keeper, as Volanda is. Spoiler, no one can be as awesome as Volanda. But at least you can try to get close, right? Anyway, that's it from me for today, and hope to hear you again in the next episode. Bye!
Are you a DM? Do you run games for your friends? Maybe D&D, Cthulhu, Star Trek? Well, whatever the system, the way we've been taught to run games is just wrong. I've spent decades looking at how we as DMs are put under huge pressure to create amazing stories, to conjure up dramatic plots, and provide entertainment for our friends. It's nuts. Join me weekly as I explore a different way to plan and run your games, a way where you, as the DM, are exploring, discovering, and being surprised by your own game. How to Be a Great GM, a YouTube series and podcast available everywhere or at www.greatgamemaster.com. Happy gaming.